Hi guys, today we will determine the sum of the terms of the finite geometric sequence or geometric series. So we are still on quarter 1, week 4. Let's do a short review on finite geometric sequence. When we say finite geometric sequence, it contains a limited number of terms which can be counted. The first term and the last term in each sequence is clearly identified. So, halimbawa, ang ating geometric sequence ay 210, 50, 250. So, that sequence is finite geometric sequence since we can count the terms. So, we have 1, 2, 3, and then 4. There are 4 terms. And identified natin ang ating last terms. First and last terms rather. So we have the first term which is 2 and our last term is 250. The next example is negative 0.25, negative 1, negative 4, so on and so forth, and negative 1024. This is still finite geometric sequence since even if meron tayong nakikita dito na dot, 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 nasa gitna naman siya. So, ibig sabihin, this is the terms between negative 4 and negative 1024 are still included in the given sequence. Ang importante dito ay alam natin ang first term ay negative 0.25 at ang last term natin ay negative 1024. Another example is first 9 terms of the sequence, 3, negative 3, 3, and so on and so forth. Kahit nasa dulo ang ating dot, 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 kung titingnan nyo lang yung 3, negative 3, 3, and dot, 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 ibig sabihin tuloy-tuloy yan. However, may nakalagay dito sa ating statement na first 9. So, this will tell us na ang kailangan lang natin, na kaya natin bilangin na ang terms ng particular sequence na yon ay 9 terms lang. So, kaya nating i-determine yung last term na 9 term. So, kaya tutuloy-tuloy natin yan hanggang the 9 term, makukuha natin kung ano yung last term. So, identified pa rin ang first term at ang last term. So, those are examples of finite sequence. Why do we have to review? Because we will be getting the sum. So, what is a geometric series? Geometric series is the sum of the terms of a geometric sequence written as a string of terms connected by addition signs and or subtraction sign if necessary. So, gamitin natin yung ating sequences earlier. So, ang unang sequence natin ay 210, 50, 250. So, para ma-represent yan using the geometric series, so we will have S of 4, Y4 because we only have 4 terms. So, that is 2 plus 10 plus 50 plus 250. At kung i-add natin yan, we will have our sum, which is 312. Next is negative 0.25, negative 1, negative 4, so on and so forth. Negative 1,200, negative 1,024. And that is in series format. We will have, or series notation, we will have the sum of n terms, yn because we do not know how many terms are being represented by the dots. So we have negative 225 minus 1 minus 4 minus the terms that being represented by these dots minus the last term which is 1024. So, ma'am, bakit minus? Kasi ang ating ang signs ng ating mga terms ay negative. So, instead of writing plus negative 1, plus negative 4, plus negative 1024, so we will make it simplified by multiplying positive times negative, which is negative. So, gamitin na lang natin yung simplest form, which is minus. So, that is for our second term. And I did continued on my scratch paper. Hinanap ko yung I determined the terms being represented by the dot dot dot, and I get the sum. And the sum of these terms, including the hidden terms here, is negative 1,365.25. You may use calculator to verify whether my answer is correct. Okay, so next is the first 9 terms of the sequence 3, negative 3, 3, and so on and so forth. So, using the geometric series notation, we will have the sum of the first 9 terms of the terms is equal to 3 minus 3 plus 3 minus and so on and so forth. So, hanggang 9 term lang. So, hanapin nyo yung 9 term. At, ang sum niyan ay plus 3. So, it's up to you whether to continue the series up to the 9th term and verify using your calculator if the answer is 3. Okay? So, let us have the formula. So, sa geometric series, similar to arithmetic series, so not all the time, pwede nating gamitin yung listing method. Pag sinabi nating listing method, ganitong proseso. So, we are going to list all these terms. Not all the time, magagawa natin yan. Lalo na kung mahaba ang terms, kung maraming terms na kailangan natin i-add. However, kung kaya nyo naman na gawin ang listing method at do it adding the terms manually, walang problema kung doon kayo komportable. Okay? But then, since our lesson is geometric series, I am going to introduce to you the formula of geometric series. Kailan gagamitin ang formula? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yan. So, sinabi ko, meron tayong 5 formula para sa geometric series ng finite geometric sequence. Okay. So, let's proceed. So, paano nga ba kunin ang sum ng given finite geometric sequence? So, we have to consider the common ratio or the R. Kailangan yan muna yung unang-unang aalamin nyo. Para may guide kayo, may idea kayo, makapag-decide kayo kung anong formula ang kailangan yung gamitin. As I mentioned earlier, 5 formula ang meron tayo sa finite geometric series. Okay. So, unang condition, if R is not equal to positive 1 and not equal to negative 1. Ano ibig sabihin ng not equal to positive 1, not equal to negative 1? So, pag sinabi natin not equal to positive 1, pwedeng 2, pwedeng 3, pwedeng 2.5, pwedeng 3.5, but not equal to positive, pwedeng 0.5. Pag sinabi naman natin not equal to negative 1, that is pwedeng negative 2, negative 3, negative 2.5, negative 1/2, and so on and so forth. Basta itong dalawa lang yan. Kapag ang ratio ng sequence nyo ay satisfied dito sa condition na yan, ito ang ating gagamitin na formula. Formula number 1. So, the sum of the n terms is equal to a sub n times the difference of 1 minus r raised to n over 1 minus r. So, gagamitin natin yung formula niyan kapag ang given ay, kapag kaya natin i-determine, i-identify from the problem ang a sub 1, ang ating n, at ang ating common ratio. So, ito yung gagamitin natin na formula. Itong formula na to. Okay? Paano naman kung hindi yung tatlo na yan ang given? Pero, ang R ay hindi equal to 1 at hindi rin equal to negative 1. So, we will have our formula number 2, which is the sum of the first n terms is equal to a sub 1 minus the last term, a sub n, times r, divided by 1 minus r. So, gagamitin natin yung formula number 2 kapag ang given ay ang ating first term, ang ating last term, at ang common ratio. Okay na? So, mamaya magbibigay ako ng example para sa mga formulas na yan. Okay, what about ang ating common ratio ay equal to 1? Anong formula ang gagamitin natin? So, we have formula number 3 that is the sum of the n terms. The first n terms is equal to n times the first term. Ang given natin dyan ay our first term, syempre ang ating n. Yun lang, hindi na natin kailangan ang common ratio. Why? Papakita ko sa inyo mamaya sa example. Next, formula number 4 and 5. So, ito naman ay kapag ang common ratio natin ay negative 1 at ang number of terms ay even. When we say even, there are 2 terms, 4 terms, 6 terms, and so on and so forth. So, n natin ay even. Okay, ang formula na gagamitin natin ay the sum of the n terms is equal to 0. Yun lang. So, no other things to do. 0 na automatic yan. Bakit? Ipapakita ko ulit sa inyo mamaya sa example. Next, we have if r is equal to negative 1 and our n, the number of terms, is odd. Ano ibig sabihin ng odd? There are 3 terms, 5 terms, 7 terms, 9 terms, 11 terms in the sequence. So, ang ating sum niyan ay equal to the first term. Bakit? Papakita ko ulit sa inyo mamaya. Papakita ko sa inyo mamaya kung bakit a sub 1 lang yan. Okay? So, yan yung ating formula, 5 formulas para sa ating finite geometric series. Let's answer problem number 1. Find the sum of the first 8 terms of the geometric sequence 5, negative 1, 1 over 5, dot, dot, dot. So, ibig sabihin nitong dot, dot, dot na to ay meron pa siyang mga susunod na terms hanggang sa ika-8 term. So, gagawin natin, pwede nyo i-illustrate, isulat nyo yung a sub 4, a sub 5, a sub 6, a sub 7, saka yung a sub 8. Pag nakuha nyo yung value ng mga terms na yon, pwede nyo na lang siyang i-add manually. Pero kung ayaw nyo gamitin yung manual counting or manual adding, pwede natin gamitin yung formula. So, alin nga ba doon sa 5 formula ang kailangan natin gamitin? So, sulat muna natin, syempre, ang ating given para ma-identify kung ano ang dapat na formula. So, we have a sub 1 is 5, our n is 8, our ratio is negative 1 over 5. Paano nakuha yung negative 1 over 5? So, negative 1 divided by 5. So, that is negative 1 over 5. Okay? So, dahil ito ang ating given, hanapin natin doon sa dalawang formula na exclusively para sa r is not equal to negative 1 at r is not equal to positive 1. Dahil ito ay negative 1 over 5. So, dun lang tayo mag-concentrate muna sa formula number 1 at number 2. Okay? So, base dito sa given natin, ang kailangan nating formula ay ang formula na the sum of the first n terms is equal to a sub 1 times 1 minus r raised to n all over 1 minus r. And then, simplify natin, substitute natin yung mga value na nakuha natin. That is our a sub 1. Ang ating n is 8. A sub 1 is 5. And then, grouping symbol tayo. So, 1 minus our r. R natin is negative 1 over 5 raised to 8 power. Okay, and the denominator natin is 1 minus negative 1 over 5. Okay. Next step, simplify natin yung exponent. That is 1 times 1 minus 1 over 390624. So, ito, pwede nyo itong makuha. Pwede nyo itong kunin using your calculator. And then, pwede yung i-convert sa decimal. So, pag medyo maraming zero siya bago ang digit, 0.000, so you have to copy it. Or, much better kung convert nyo na lang ito sa decimal. Okay? And then, the denominator is negative times negative. So, that becomes 1 plus 1 over 5. So, that is equal to 6 over 5. Next, simplify natin yung nasa loob ng grouping symbol, which is 1 minus 1 over 390624. So, that will give us 390623 over 390624. And then, copy the denominator. So, ito ay division. So, gagawin natin dito ay susulat na natin sa multiplication. Pero, simplify muna natin itong grupo na to. Yan. Simplify muna natin yan. So, that is 8. The sum of the first 8 terms is equal to 390624 over 78125. So, yan ay naka-simplified na. Lowest term na siya. And then, times the reciprocal of the divisor. So, ibig sabihin, ang reciprocal niyan ay 5 over 6. And then, proceed to multiplication. So, multiply the numerator and then multiply the denominator. So, if you are going to use your scientific calculator, that will give you the answer na. So, that is the sum of the first 8 terms of the given sequence is equal to 65,104 over 15,625. So, yan ang ating example para sa formula number 2. Formula number 1, sorry. Next problem, determine the sum of the terms of the geometric sequence whose is of 1 is 4, the last term is 128, and the common ratio is 2. So, again, we have to write our given. Kahit may given na dyan sa problem, pwede nyo nang skip yung part na to. Pero, I will going to write para di tayo nalilito. Okay. So, dahil ito ang ating given, at ang ating R ratio is not equal to 1 at not equal to negative 1. Tapos, hindi rin siya equal to 1 at hindi rin siya equal to negative 1. So, ang ating gagamitin ay yung formula number 2. Okay, ano ba yung formula number 2? So, we have the sum of the first terms. The sum of the first n terms is equal to first term minus the last term times the common ratio all over 1 minus r. And then, simplify natin. Substitute muna rather. Substitute the value. So, we have 4 minus 128 times 2 all over 1 minus 2. Okay, and then, susunod ay simplify natin yung multiplication. And then, that is 4 minus 256. And then, the denominator can also be simplified. So, that is negative 1. And then, numerator, pwede na rin i-simplify. So, that will give us negative 252. And then, copy the denominator. So, since pareho pa sila ng negative sign, so the final answer will be the sum of the n terms of the given sequence is equal to positive 254. So, i-verify natin. Pag sinabi natin i-verify natin yung sagot. Since mukha namang ilang terms lang naman yan. So, pwede nating ilista lahat ng terms. So, yan ay first term is 4, second term is 8. 8 times 2 is 16. 16 times 2 is 32. 32 times 2 is 64. 64 times 2 is 128. So, ito yung ating last term, first term. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Meron tayong 6 terms sa ating sequence. So, series tayo, 'di ba? So, we have to add the terms. So, yan, add lang dahil lahat naman yan ay positive. So, we will be adding the terms. And the sum is, that is 252. So, pareho naman sila. So, that means our solution here in this part is correct. Okay? Next. What about number 3? Find the sum of the first 20 terms of the geometric sequence. So, we have 3, 3, 3, and so on and so forth. Etong dot na to, huwag kayong ma-intimidate dyan kasi may nakalagay naman sa atin dito na first 20 terms. So, that is 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 hanggang sa ika-20 na 3. So, since medyo mahaba yan, na madaming 3, so gagawin natin, gamit na lang tayo ng formula. At ang ating R, diba, ay 1. So, paano nakuha yung 1? So, 3 divided by 3 is positive 1. So, positive divided by positive is positive 1. So, dahil positive 1 yan, meron tayong particular formula para sa R is equal to positive 1. Ano yung formula na yun? So, we will have n times the first term. Ang n natin ay 20. So, 20, ang first term natin ay 3. So, that is the sum of the first 20 terms of the given sequence is equal to 60. We have problem number 4. Find the sum of the first 10 terms of the geometric sequence 3, negative 3, 3. So, ang ating given ay sub 1 is positive 3. Ang n natin is 10. Ang r ay negative 1. Paano nakuha yung negative 1? Negative 3 divided by positive 3. So, that is negative 1. So, dalawa ang formula natin sa r is equal to negative 1. Pipiliin natin kung alin sa dalawa by looking at the n. Ano ba ang ating value ng n? Dito ay 10. Ang 10 ba ay even or odd? So, you have to decide. You have to know whether it's odd or even numbers of terms. So, yan ay even. Dahil even yan, ang gagamitin nating formula ay the sum of the first n terms is equal to 0. Wala siyang actually gagawin. Automatic 0 siya. So, for this particular problem, the sum of the first 10 terms of the sequence 3, negative 3, 3, and so on and so forth is equal to 0. Paano siya naging 0? Okay, verify natin. Kung isusulat natin lahat ng terms ng sequence na yan, yung first 10 terms ng sequence na yan, so we will have these terms. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then, we are going to write this as a string of terms with the respective operations. So, that is 3 minus 3 plus 3 plus 3. And then, simplify natin by pair. So, pag sinimplify natin yung by pair, yan ay 0, diba? 3 minus 3 is 0, and then this is 0, this is 0, this is 0, at yan ay 0. So, walang naiwan na ibang terms dyan. That's why the sum is 0. So, again, this is only applicable if we have r is equal to negative 1 and the number of terms is even. So, I hope nakakasunod pa. So, now let's have the last number 5. Find the sum of the first 7 terms of the geometric sequence, negative 10, 10, negative 10, and so on and so forth. So, ito ay negative 10 ang ating sub 1. Ang ating E sub 1 ay negative. Negative 10. And then, our N is 7. And then, ang ating R is negative 1 din siya. So, dahil negative 1 yan, i-check natin sa ating N kung ito ba ay even or odd. So, ang ating N is odd numbers. So, ibig sabihin, 7. So, ang gagamitin natin na formula ay yung the sum of the n terms is equal to the first term. So, ang first term natin dyan ay negative 10. So, that is the sum of the first 7 terms of the given sequence is equal to negative 10. So, paano naman siya nakuha, ma'am? Okay, ganito yan. So, if we are going to write all the first 7 terms of that given sequence, so we have negative 10, positive 10, negative 10, positive 10, negative 10, positive 10, negative 10. So, meron na tayong 7 terms. Yan yung first 7 terms. And then, we are going to write the series. Ayan. Yan na yung ating series. At, kung isi-simplify natin siya by pair, so, this becomes 0, 0, 0. At ang naiwan na lang ay ang negative 10. So, that's why ang ating sum is negative 10. So, I hope nakasunod. Kung merong questions, PM ako or kaya i-post lang sa comment box at ako ay magre-response agad-agad. Okay, salamat!